Hey everyone, and welcome to Top Think. Today we're going to learn about 7 things you must let go of to be happy. Now let's begin. Number 1, finding imperfections. Do you find flaws in everything and everyone? When you're unhappy, the world around you is selfish and cruel. Day in and day out, people hurt each other, deceive each other, and they take advantage of each other. There's plenty of negativity in the world, but there's also beauty and kindness too. Well, here's the problem. When you're unhappy, you only see one version of the world. Your brain becomes biased. If you're a pessimist, for example, you see the worst aspects of everyone you meet. In your eyes, they're self-serving or manipulative, but your brain sees what it wants to see. So if you want to be happy, let go of your negativity and change your perspective. Free yourself from the bias that moderates your view of the world. For example, try to see the good in people. The world isn't perfect, and people aren't either. But if you want to be happy, you have to let yourself be happy. You have to savor the meaningful moments in your life, even if they aren't perfect. Everyone has problems, everything has imperfection. But if you spend your life staring at those imperfections, then you'll never appreciate the bigger picture. This is true of your friends, your partners, your jobs, and especially yourself. You aren't perfect. No, and you never will be. You can always find reasons to complain about yourself, but if you're concentrating on your weaknesses, then you'll never discover your strengths. In other words, don't criticize yourself for all the things you're not. Instead, be happy about all the things that you are. Number 2, endless preparation. Do you feel unprepared? Do you procrastinate your goals because you aren't ready to face them? Many people feel insecure about their ability to overcome obstacles. When you imagine achieving your goals, you imagine a final product, a goal that you've achieved. But on the way is a minefield of obstacles, hurdles, and unforeseen challenges. You may think to yourself, well, what if I don't know what to do? What if I'm not prepared for what comes next? Everyone experiences these fears because uncertainty is terrifying. You want to know what comes next so you can prepare yourself for success. But here's the simple truth. You cannot prepare for everything. You just can't. You'll never be 100% ready to succeed because there will always be obstacles that you didn't expect. Luckily, you don't need to be 100% prepared. You don't have to predict every single challenge that might come your way. The best way to accomplish any goal is to learn as you go. You find success by failing over and over again. You become a master by learning the basics because everyone starts somewhere. Every successful person rose through the ranks by facing their fears, by taking risks, and by trying their best even when they didn't feel confident or prepared. So stop trying to prepare for every eventuality. Instead, instill within yourself the strength and confidence to attack new challenges with everything you've got. Believe in your own ability to find success because no matter how much you prepare, you'll never be totally ready. No matter how many books you read or classes you take, nothing compares to the real thing. So, learn by doing. Build your confidence by experiencing your goals in action. Take a risk knowing it might blow up in your face, because that's how you improve. Number 3, the lonely void. Have you ever said to yourself, I'm lonely? Is loneliness the reason why you're unhappy? Many people crave love and companionship for the wrong reasons. They don't want to connect with another person. They don't want to share their lives with someone. Instead, they want to fill an empty void in their life, but romance isn't the answer. A lack of companionship doesn't make you lonely. In other words, you're not lonely because you're alone. You're lonely because you don't feel comfortable with yourself. That's why you place the burden of your self-esteem on someone else. Your friends and partners become responsible for your happiness, but lifelong happiness comes from within. So if you feel lonely, it's time to get to know yourself. Don't fill that space in your life with friendships and relationships. You need to build a stronger connection with yourself. Value the time you spend alone. Deepen your knowledge of who you are because you can't be anyone else. So the more you get to know yourself, the more your relationships will change. Most people don't realize how much your identity and self-esteem impact the quality of your relationships. To put it simply, people like people who know and love themselves. So if you're happy and confident, others will feel happy and confident around you. Yeah, your attitude is infectious and your self-esteem radiates outward. So the next time you're feeling lonely, spend some quality time with yourself. Be the kind of person you want to be with, because that's the person that'll make you happy. Number 4. Imaginary intensity. Not every conflict is do or die. You, like many people, may over-intensify the smallest moments in your life. Your nerves get the best of you, your thoughts run wild, and something as small as a conversation weighs heavily on your mind. When you infuse so much intensity in your life, you develop unreasonable expectations for yourself. Every situation carries so much weight that you're constantly staring down insurmountable obstacles. But most obstacles are smaller than you realize. Here's a common obstacle that countless people struggle with on a daily basis. How often do you talk to people you don't know? Ultimately, a conversation with a stranger is short, easy, and painless. You may talk about the weather or current events, but that's about it. Most of these conversations end within a few minutes, yet people are petrified of opening their mouths. People get scared because they catastrophize small, simple interactions. This may be a common experience for people who are nervous or insecure in social situations. The most basic experiences devolve into imaginary disasters. A small part of you knows how easy it should be, but your expectations spiral out of control. So, if you want to live a happier life, just take these moments with a grain of salt. Remind yourself that most experiences are not life-changing. Most conversations are forgettable. Most job interviews fizzle into nothing. Instead of crumbling to pieces, just take a breath, relax your mind, and control your expectations. Number 5. Black or white. Most things in life are not black or white, but your brain takes every experience to the extreme. Alright, let's say you want to write a novel. You create your first draft, but it doesn't turn out the way you want. You have a bad habit of thinking in black and white, so you say to yourself, "I'm a failure. I should never write another page again." This train of thought leaves you unhappy and unfulfilled. Every experience has positives and negatives, strengths and weaknesses. Nothing's 100% good or 100% bad. It's always somewhere in the middle. Sure, your first book may be a mess, but there are glimmers of hope. At the end of the day, even a complete disaster can be a valuable learning experience. In other words, something good can come from your most embarrassing failures. Failure doesn't doom you to a lifetime of disappointment, just like one success doesn't guarantee a lifetime of achievement. Everything exists on a spectrum, so cut yourself some slack and roll with the punches. Number 6. False comparisons. Do you compare yourself to other people? Do you measure your success against the accomplishments of others? Comparisons can destroy your self-esteem. There will always be someone out there wearing, buying, or experiencing something that you haven't. But that's okay. There's no right or wrong way to look, act, think, or experience the world around you. When you compare yourself to other people, you're not doing your own life any justice. You have your own approach to the world. You solve problems, you make connections, and you find inspiration in your own way. The life you live is right for you, and that's all that matters. Comparisons are especially detrimental on social media. Social media profiles present a romanticized version of someone's life. They show their picture-perfect vacations and their extravagant luxuries, but that's just a small sliver of who they really are. They have problems and they make mistakes just like you. They get bored and they care too much about what other people think. But they want to show the world a specific image of who they are, and that image doesn't include boredom, failure, or insecurity. So don't compare yourself to people on social media. Real life is much more complicated than anything online. Appreciate your life for what it is. Otherwise, you're never going to feel satisfied with the life you've chosen. Number 7. Outside expectations. Do you make your own decisions, or do you live your life to satisfy someone else? Many people never find happiness because they don't follow their own compass. You may not feel a sense of purpose in your life because you didn't choose the life you're living. You let someone else make your decisions for you. You did what you were told or what you were supposed to do. Maybe you felt obligated by your family or your peers. Maybe you were following in someone else's footsteps, thinking their life would make you happy. And now you're looking back at your life wishing that you'd done things differently. Ultimately, no one should control your life but you. So if you want something, it's your responsibility to claim it for yourself. So turn over a new leaf. Make decisions that come directly from you. Decisions that you can be proud of. Because your personal decisions empower you to live the kind of life you want to live. Hey, thank you for watching Top Think, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.